Hi Cancer, happy birthday. If it is your birthday. Alright, welcome to the space. If you're new, very much welcome. If you're returning, same. Okay, welcome back. Alright, Cancer energy. Well, I thought we'd just sit. I really wanted to just sit and like lean against a tree. They say it actually, I remember reading a study about how it actually enhances creativity, brings stability, right? So maybe that'll be helpful. There was also a message of keeping, like, I guess it's important to, however much connected these things are, it's like not allowing your personal life to interfere or roll over into your professional life, right? Kind of keeping these two things sort of separate, or realizing, like, say for instance you have a lot going on at home or in your family, and you still obviously have to go to work and do what you need to do and do the best job, which I know you love to do the best job in both these places. But how to kind of disengage, or how your energy works in this way, would be helpful. Just pay attention to that, because remember, you're in control of your energy. And yes, and how you can bring that back into center, even if, for instance, it feels a little interwoven for a second, you know. Okay. I feel like a decision's already been made, and I also feel as if there's sort of one to come. Yes. If it is an emotional decision, well, I guess I see that you've already sat on it for quite a while. Yes. And this is more personal than professional. So maybe that's why I don't know if it's the focus needs to go there. I mean, you'll know which one is needs more of your attention, to ensure that both of these are in the right place. Does this make sense? Hold on. Let me try to figure out what I just saw. Well, I guess there's certain parts of the past that you can now laugh at. Or there's a lighter energy around it. Okay? But maybe you want to check in with yourself if there's anything, say, in the past. Has there been anything I mean, obviously for some of you this is your birthday time, but also like this time of year, like, has anything ever happened in this time of year that you can remember? There's something about that too. Yeah, that will be very helpful in some sort of enlightenment. This also could bring a really great understanding to the past, and then where you are now. Again, there's, like, I heard laughter around the past, or a place that was that you know was like a hard thing is now becoming easier. And it's been becoming, I see, easier because you decided to create that. right? It's not just something that, I mean, I guess this could be something that just happens over time, but there's something about your awareness about it that's also helping you very much in shedding light on something. Yes. Which gives you more, I guess it gives you a kind of power so that you can, well, handle what you need to handle now, from a place of creativity and, I heard, encouragement. I feel like you're definitely super strong right now. Like there's something that you're being asked to do, like maybe a task is given to you, and, well, I see, if you feel like, if you decide in yourself, say to yourself, like, I can do that. Yeah, I can disengage with this. I know I need to disengage with this so I can interact with that and take the next, I heard, bold steps forward. Yes. Whenever that may be. Right, sometimes the idea comes and then the steps in between take some time in between to become tangible. So I guess it's kind of maybe what do you need to do between now and then to ensure that the stepping stones are I heard, an equal distance to what you are desiring. Right, where you don't have to stretch yourself so far. It's more of a, I mean, there's a bit of a gap. You got to put a little extra effort in there for certain, but it's not so uncomfortable, again, that you're like stretching yourself thin. Right? Right. You have lots of air energy here. I see lots of Leo and Pisces. So what are we talking about? Well, please believe in yourself. There are always stops and goes, right? Red lights, green lights. So well, if this is an environment that you know, then you kind of know where they are and you're already prepped for them. If you're, for instance, venturing into a new space, which I see that you will be in the future. I mean, you are now, but there's like, this isn't physical quite yet for a lot of you. This is something that's coming to this space. So, but venturing into these new spaces, I guess, well, I guess remember there will be some things that you don't know. Or maybe you have to turn around, right? That's okay too. And I'd also say, for some reason, I feel like sharing this with you. I actually read an article recently, which doesn't surprise me, but they were saying that when people use, like you have a map that basically you have something that like tells you exactly where to go, turn left in 200 feet. It's when it's like that, it actually shuts off this part of the brain that helps us solve our own problems. And so remember that it's okay to get lost. Like, it's okay if you end up, quote unquote, lost for a second, or you don't know where you are, or it's like, I feel like I've been here before, but I don't, it's somewhere around here, right? You'll find it. And so maybe there's something literal about this too. Like, there's something, take it as it is. And then there's also this kind of literal thing. Like, if you are, for instance, driving from point A to point B, it's like, don't use your map program. Okay. Like, use your brain. Use your brain. Yes, because this is also going to be a test in your trust. This is also paying attention to little things, right? Instead of, again, like, turn left in 200 feet. It's like, oh, I remember there was this tree with this weird branch, or, you know, there was that yellow house, or whatever it is. It'll help you to remember where you are when if you happen to be there again too in the future, right? You've already solved this. And everyone's so proud of themselves, right? In a certain kind of way, when you kind of become lost, you're like, oh shit, I don't know where I am. This doesn't seem familiar at all. A new environment, a new space. It's like, okay, well, remember, when you feel lost, when everyone is lost in the world, you stand still for a second and you ask yourself a few questions, right? Where did I just come from? Where is the sun? Right? Get a full gander of where you are before you just go running off, because you might be closer to your goal or to the thing that you're looking for than you think that you are. Yes. Cool. So I see, no need to doubt yourself, right? No. I want you to have faith in where you are and where you're going. Okay? I heard you've rode this road many times, okay? Even if you don't remember. It doesn't, even if something doesn't feel familiar, it's like it is, but it isn't. There's something like that. Oh, interesting. What's going on here? Huh. Hold on, these cards did a flipperoo. Okay, did it again. Odd. Okay. I heard, where did you come from? Something about where you came from. Where you come from. Just a second. It's good to know what makes you happy. What you like to create. Maybe this is for some of you a part of your natural talents, right? The talents you've been given as an individual, in your power, in your soul, whatever, things of this nature. And I know sometimes that's been shaky, right? I know you've had to overcome so much, but I also feel like there's really some, you decided to make a decision to think about things differently, right? And process information in a different way, maybe even in a magical way. And I know that this has opened up a lot in you, but sometimes when we open things up, which is sort of like getting an answer, right, for something, receiving an answer, but sometimes when that opens, there's actually there can be a lot more questions. So again, I see if something is new, just kind of take it easy with that. Maybe you want to write down what are the questions now, right? Maybe the questions have changed because you've received certain answers. Maybe this has to do with what you are wanting now because of the person that you are now. you know, what are the goals now? Or what is it that you're walking, what are you walking with now? And what are you walking towards? Good question, Queen of Swords. Interesting. Just a minute. Sort of like, I'm seeing like Mars and Leo. What are we talking about? Well, I guess this is really passionate creativity, right? This is like when you're gonna create with something, you're like, whoof, you put all your love into it, right? There's this really big thing. Mars and Leo too is also sort of romantic. Well, especially like, well, how do I want to explain this? Yeah, we'll put it this way. It can have a kind of romanticism to it. It could also be where like going on dates or spending time with other people is also something that, like, I don't know, it takes effort to do. I guess this could be risky things too, a little bit. Like things that go fast, right? How do you feel about going fast? Like, are you a risky person? Like, would you bungee jump, or like, do you like roller coasters? Hot air balloon's too slow. But that is fire, and that's another story. Well, I guess this is also a question, like, what kind of energy do you have any frustration with what you're creating right now? I guess that's another question. Like, I guess this could be a little bit of a creative block, especially if those of you who, when you get into a creative thing, it's like, whoo, okay, again, all in. It exerts a lot of energy. You put your whole, like, you're putting your whole soul into it. You know what I mean? So just remember that creative energy comes and goes. Like, it's kind of like the tides of the sea, right? There's a method. I heard a method and a motion to it. So if you do have any creative blocks, I feel like those are also going to open. Yes. Maybe you want to go through where your energy is going to. And if you are exerting a lot in this way, right, like going a lot of heart-centered, I heard energy or relationships, it's like, make sure that you're reeling back enough to kind of replenish that energy, right? If we sat directly in the sun, for instance, for this reading, it would be really hot, right? I would probably feel so drained that the reading will be done, but because we're over sort of in the shade, in a shadier spot, it's cooler, so the energy lasts a little longer. So maybe just keep track of that, like, when are you the most productive, or maybe when do you like to create, depending on what you're working on, right? When do maybe ideas come to you, things like that. All right, Cancer. Ooh, yeah, there's another good question too. Thanks, Queen of Swords. We'll take it. And do you have a creative space? I feel like you need a creative space in your house, you know. I mean, of course, say your creativity is cooking. It's like, well, you need your kitchen, like, in a good space. Do you know what I mean? Where you kind of feel like it's yours. Like, you can be free in there. There aren't any... I'm talking about a creative space that doesn't have any restrictions. Right? Because it's a healthy kind of creation, it can be really open, even though I'm sure that there's somewhat of a parameter. Does that make sense? Yeah. Think about that one. Let's see. Oh, you were also recorded on the same day as Aquarius. If you have questions in your heart, I guess this is this Leo energy also. This could also be helpful for you. Remember, you rule the night, so you need a good sleep, right? Healthy replenishment of energy. So just be aware of that. Things will also feel a lot more clear. You won't worry about stuff so much either if you're getting enough of it. If there is anything where you're kind of like, you don't know the answer to it, it's one of those places. Again, maybe you have more, you open something, you have more questions now because you received an answer. It's like, make sure that you're resting. I feel like there's a lot of healing going on in an unconscious space too. Subconscious, unconscious. So I see, please care for yourself in that way. Interesting. What happened here? Okay. I feel like your heart already knows what to do. Your heart's actually super confident in this time. I guess this is also kind of your inner power. Again, you hold a lot of power in your hands, Cancer, you know. And you get to wield that however you want. Okay? But remember, with certain things, it's kind of like weeding the garden, right? You have to go back to it now and again. Could be some of these things are lifelong, right? Things you just got to learn or keep fine-tuning so they don't happen as much later. I heard they should be becoming less and less, the frequency of it or the frustration, if there is any. So just make sure you're keeping up with things, and maybe this is a little bit of time management too, right? Whether I heard personal, professional, etc. Yes. When do you like to start work? Like, what time do you get up? How much time do you give yourself before you start your day? And I see, how much time are you spending, like, socializing? You know, owning one's power, that takes a lot of energy, right? So keep track of what you're doing. Maybe if you're pushing yourself a little hard, you need to, again, like, reel back a little bit, like rest on something, lean on something, right? What do you lean on? Inside the tree, it just went like gulp, gulp. Interesting. What was that? Hold on. hope you could hear that. Ow. Interesting. Well, let's see if there's anything else. I don't want to take up too much of your time. It's your birthday, so you should be outside enjoying it, you know. I do feel like there's a decision that you need to make purely for yourself. If there are other people that you feel like you're like, oh, I'm making this decision because how do I see this? Well, you're allowed to include other people in your decisions, but there's a decision you really need to make just for yourself that is excludes other people. Do you know what I'm saying? It's important for you to know that because, well, that's about owning your power, I guess, and having better, like, good boundaries and being responsible for yourself, right? Because your dreams and desires and goals, etc., are very much your own, and they need to be known and I heard decided upon so that you can well, I see, like, diminish the little bits of fear that are around something. So you can maybe relax more. I mean, you have well, what do I see here? Remember, you're building in yourself, like, especially having, like, an awareness of your own balance and how you and others, like, work, or you and energy, you and an emotion works, right? You and an environment works. It's like, just remember there's always kind of an in and out with that, and you'll find it, and I want you to know that you're doing a good job. This also shows me where you're being more, there's a logic in here and a practicality. It's more of a masculine energy. You have more fire and air. So, you know, use that energy to, because we're in a cardinal season, so the next one will be like in October. So it's kind of like a forward momentum, because from there we're going into January, etc. And then we come back around into, well, fire again. So this has a lot of forward momentum depending on what you do here and how you use that energy. So make sure that this is more about addressing things mentally than it is emotionally, right? You want to have it be more practical, logical. It can be very creative in that space, but there's something about that's beautiful, because it actually gives you, I heard, a greater reward, or like a bigger harvest, something more tangible, something you can, like, I heard understand and feel on a deeper level. Yep. And I guess I also heard have faith in people to walk their own path. Usually it was mostly said to Virgo, and then it went into Libra, and now I'm seeing it with you, Cancer. It's like, if you know you have a task to be done, then do it. And do it, of course, to the best of your ability. If someone asks for your help, maybe you want to see whether they literally need it or if they just want it. And if they just want it, then you need to check in with your own needs and wants first, and then go into others, right? Even if you have a lot on your plate, it's like just sort of figuring out what the flow is, what the space is there, okay? Because well, I heard the world is your oyster. So what are your needs and wants? Especially if it's your birthday too, I'd say, yeah, King of Swords, good questions here. I'd also say, since if it is your birthday, literally, wherever Cancer is for you, doing this annual kind of energy, maybe it would be nice to look at now and be like, okay, what are you needing to do to ensure that you receive what you want, and knowing what those wants are for the next year? Like, what is that goal? And how does that roll over into the next 5 years? Something like that. Maybe it's a year, 2 years, 5 years. Something along these lines. Oh, to close this out, I guess because of that Leo Pisces, I also saw like a, I saw like a Mars in Pisces. Oh, I see. For matters of the heart, feelings, places, things of this nature, Aquarius's reading will help you with that. Saturn kinds of questions. Okay. Take care of yourself. Happiest now. Thank you for all your hard work. Thank you for all your support. I hope you enjoyed the light of the backyard, and I'll talk to you next time.